Welcome, viewers. Our channel's mission is to bring you only real stories, experiences that truly happened to someone or were witnessed with their own eyes. Today, Jenna will set the stage and share the context of our story. So, let's begin without delay. Over to you, Jenna.
Hey viewers, hope you all are doing well. This is the story sent by Henry Joseph. He said, a few years ago, we moved into a two-story house. It wasn't too old, just a little worn down. When we first moved in, the landlord was polite, a little too polite. He showed us the house, handed over the keys, and stopped at one door in the hallway. He smiled nervously and said, "This room stays locked. Don't worry about it. I just keep some personal stuff inside. Nothing important for you?" We didn't think much of it. Everyone has personal belongings. Everything looked normal at first. But just 2 days later, my mother went for a walk outside. She met the other ladies in the society, all the ladies who usually walk together every evening. When they found out which house we had shifted to, they all fell silent. For a second, their smiles froze, and they exchanged strange looks with each other. My mother felt awkward, but no one said anything directly. It was as if they knew something about that house, something they didn't want to speak about. My mother ignored it at the time, but later, that small moment started haunting her. One night, my sister was preparing for her exams. She had this habit. Maybe you've seen people like that too, of studying while walking back and forth in the room. It helped her memorize things faster, and she always did it late at night. That night, everything was silent. Only the faint sound of her footsteps echoed as she paced from one corner of the room to the other, whispering formulas to herself. But suddenly, she froze. She felt like someone else was pacing in the room with her. The sound of footsteps continued, even though she had stopped moving. My sister swore she faced, but we smiled. My mother pressed her ear against the wood once and said she heard someone whisper her name. Still, the landlord's words echoed in our minds. Personal stuff. We tried to ignore it. As the days passed, fear started consuming all of us. Every night, something new happened. Shadows moving, voices calling our names, and doors creaking when no one was near. My mother was terrified. My sister refused to sleep alone, and even I had started doubting if we were safe in that house. But my father, he was different. At first, he ignored everything. But as we kept running to him every night with trembling voices, he grew tired, even angry. Finally, one night, when the atmosphere in the house felt unbearably heavy, he shouted, "Enough! Tomorrow, I will break that lock and show you all there is nothing inside that room." We begged him not to. We reminded him of the landlord's warning, but he was determined. To him, it was just our imagination, and he wanted to end this once and for all. The next evening, he really did it. He called a local locksmith. We all stood behind him, holding our breath, shivering, as he raised his hand to open the lock. At first glance, it looked empty. Just a dusty floor, old cobwebs, and a strange, rotten smell. My father turned to us with a proud smile, as if to say, "See, there's nothing." But then, one by one, we all noticed it. In the corner of the room, scratches on the wall, long, deep and fresh, as if someone or something had been trapped inside, desperately trying to claw its way out. We closed the door quickly, but it was already too late. That same night, I woke up and saw my sister standing in my room, staring at me. But when I blinked, she was gone. Moments later, my real sister came out of her room, asking why I was awake. From then on, the copies started appearing. My mother saw me in the kitchen when I was asleep in bed. My brother swore he saw our father sitting in the living room, even though our father was outside in the garden. And each copy just smiled. Blank. Wrong. One weekend, to escape the tension, our family went on a short trip. We left the house completely empty. Or at least, that's what we thought. The next day, I got a call from a close friend who lived nearby. His voice was uneasy. "Hey, I thought you said you went out of town? Because last night, I passed your house. The lights were on, music was playing, and I swear I heard voices, like a party was going on inside. Are you lying about the trip?" My blood ran cold. The house was locked. We were miles away. So who or what was celebrating inside? After that, things only grew worse. My sister screamed louder than I had ever heard. She swore she saw my mother sitting calmly on her bed. But at that same moment, our real mother was cooking dinner with us in the kitchen. When we rushed to her room, the figure was still there, sitting, smiling. And when the light flickered, it vanished. After days of strange happenings, my father's patience wore thin. He kept saying, "I will call the landlord. He knows what this is about." But here's the thing. Every time my father called him, the landlord made excuses. "I'm busy. I'll come tomorrow. Next week for sure." 1 week passed, but he never came. It was as if he was deliberately avoiding our house. But when my father shouted and told him, "We have opened the lock and checked, there was no stuff in the room, so come and tell where that stuff gone which you had here," his voice broke. When the landlord later came, his face turned pale. He tried to brush it off, saying, "I told you never to open that room." That's when my father finally snapped. What we were facing, we did not have any other solution to open and check inside the room. Because you lied with us that I have my stuff inside, but nothing. You left us here to deal with it alone. The landlord lowered his eyes. After a long silence, he whispered, "There are things in that room. Things even I don't want to face again." He admitted, "No one stays in that house for more than a few months. They all say the same thing, that the house makes copies of them. I locked that room years ago, hoping it would stop, but it doesn't. We left the house the very next morning. But even today, when I remember that smile, the blank, empty smile on a face that wasn't real, I wonder if we left it behind, or if it's still waiting in that locked room for the next family. And that's where tonight's story ends. A family, a locked room, and a landlord who never came when called. Some questions were answered, but many remain in the shadows. What was really hidden in that room? Why did a landlord avoid returning? Maybe we'll never know, and maybe some doors should never be opened. Thank you for listening to this episode of our horror podcast. If this story chilled your spine, don't forget to follow, rate, and share it with your friends. Your support helps us bring more terrifying true stories to light. And remember, sometimes the scariest things aren't the ones you see outside, but the ones that wait inside your very own home. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and never ignore the sound in the dark. Good night.
Oh my gosh, Jenna, you're doing an incredible job finding these stories. People are absolutely loving them, and honestly, even I feel deeply connected to each one. If you have your own horror or mysterious story, share it with us. You can email or WhatsApp your experience, and Jenna will pick the best ones to narrate here. The story that gets the most likes and engagement will also win a special giveaway. Stay with us by subscribing to more horrific stories and mysterious life events. Signing off now, we'll be back with another story.